pineapple under the sea.
Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Chris. So sorry it's been a little bit of time since my last upload, you guys. I got a new job and there's just been a lot of changes going on in my life. But today we're going to be diving into the Hipdop Times Nickelodeon SpongeBob palettes called the Bikini Bottom Eyeshadow Palettes. And I also have the Jellyfish 3-pack lip gloss sets because you guys know that I absolutely love lip glosses. So we're going to dive into these bad boys. This is going to be a review style video. The price of the Bikini Bottom palette costs $36 and the lip gloss sets cost $30. 3 lip glosses come in this pack and this eyeshadow palette comes with 15 eyeshadows. Everything together costs $66. However, I do have a discount code with the company. It saved me $6.60, which is 10%, and I ended up only paying $59.40. If you want to save some coin, you can use my code. It is an affiliate code. Totally up to you. No pressure. Let's start off with the lip set. The lip set comes in a box like this. Of course, it has SpongeBob riding on jellyfish. The packaging is really reflective. I feel like they really put a lot of effort into make this package look really fun, give that kind of nostalgic feel, but still very sophisticated. In the back, it gives some info about what's inside. By the way, both of these products are cruelty-free, vegan, paraben-free, mineral oil-free, talc-free, and it has a shelf life of 12 months. And everything was made in China. And here are the 3 glosses. We have up top Feeling Pineapple, and the pink in the middle is Sea Stargazer, and on the bottom is Coral. On top of the lip glosses, it says a little H for Hipdop, and on the bottom, it has the actual names. Each of these holds 0.15 fluid ounces. When you open it, it looks like this. So it's a very kind of standard lip gloss application, sometimes even a lipstick. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna go 2 times over so you can see. So if you see this and you're like, oh, I don't really want blue, it's not like an extreme blue, it's a very small hint of blue. Next one is Sea Stargazer. This one is very pretty. It has a very nice subtle hint of pink. It's like a little coral pink, which is of course very fitting for the theme. The formula doesn't feel sticky. It feels real nice and smooth, which is what lip gloss should be. So the last one is Feeling Pineapple. This one is on my lips and you will see me actually put this on during the eye demonstration at the end of it. But this is the actual swatch of it. Very beautiful gold. And there it is. Okay, now it's time for the big bad boy, which is the palette, the Bikini Bottom palette. This is the actual slip cover of the palette. It's the same thing as the actual palette inside, as you can see. The back is also pretty much the same. Here's the front just a little bit closer so you can see the design. We got, of course, Patrick and SpongeBob just having a blast. And in the back, of course, we have all of the information. Palette, by the way, weighs 27 grams, and it is a really, really nice packaging. It's solid as a rock and it comes with a little stand. This is the front of it. It pops out into a stand. So when you open it, it actually will sit nicely on your vanity. So this is the inside of the palette. It does come with a mirror. SpongeBob is on the side and it does fold all the way back. And here is the color story. I'm going to bring it up close so you guys can see. So there are 5 mattes in this palette and 10 shimmers. I really do feel like it needed just one more darker matte, and I think it would have been really great to have another transitional shade. This is called Coral Floral. If you had another one, maybe even for a darker skin tone, that would have been great. Coral Floral, I used it on my lids and it's my exact skin tone. So that's my only critique in terms of a color story. I did do some pre-recorded swatches, so of course I'll show you guys what those look like. The swatches in this palette are rather interesting. Most of them was a 1 to 2 times swatch. However, the red was about 4 to 5 swatches. Also, the shimmers, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 out of the 10, were a bit sheer. They weren't as pigmented. Really didn't have a wow factor in terms of a swatch. You know how like you swatch a palette, especially a shimmer, and you swatch it on your hand, you're like, oh my god, that is absolutely stunning. It's pigmented. These weren't really the case. I'm gonna go ahead and take Angry Tentacles. Let's take Golden Pineapples. Let's take Rock Bottom. And then let's take Meow Meow Meow. Here they are, my fingers. Swatch them right here. Golden Tentacles. Whoops, I put a little bit of the gold one there. Okay, wow, that one's pretty. Boom. So Golden Texels right here, sorry, there's a little bit of gold right there because I've dragged my finger way too fast. But this one right here is just a little bit more sheer. In the swatch, I went in twice with it. On the eyes, with a dry brush, even with a wet brush, it's not as pigmented. This one right here, Angry Tentacles. It comes up way better with the finger applications, which is exactly what I do in the eye demonstration. This gold one, however, is very pretty. I did use it with a dry application and it came out really gorgeous. I didn't use this shade right here, but it's actually very, very pretty, and it's probably one of the most promising shimmers in the actual palette. And this purple one down here is a cute one. I did use it on the bottom of my lower lash line, and it shows up nicely with a dry brush. I also want to take a few mattes. I'm going to take this one, which is about my complexion. Let's take the red. Let's take the yellow. Alright, here we go. 3 right here. This one's literally my skin tone, but you can definitely see it. It's very pretty. Oh, you can actually see it way better on my arm in the camera. I can see it. Here's the yellow. One swatch. Pretty decent. And here is the red. That's the red. Okay, I'm gonna go in again with the red. Some more red. So it does build up. I'm gonna go in again. Red again. There you go, it's starting to show up. And I'm gonna do it one more time because I did go 4 times. Boom. Much better. So it's a buildable red. It's not the worst thing ever, but that is something that I think you should know when purchasing this palette, especially if you're going to buy it for that specific shade. You should know that you have to kind of build it up, and that's exactly what I experienced on my lid. So just in case you're new to my channel, know that I like to use concealer on my lids and not primer whenever I'm reviewing a new palette, because I want to just see how the palette works on its own, not really with added help like a primer and things like that. So that's important for you to know, especially if you're going to compare my video to other people's videos. You want to know what they're using because it might help a palette or it actually might cause a palette some harm. So I like to just keep one thing the same, which is concealer. I use the Kylie Cosmetics concealer in the shade Maple, and that's it. I used 6 different brushes today. 4 from Morphe, 1 is from the Ipsy Times Tetris collab, and 1 from Alamar Cosmetics. So I start off the eye look with the color Coral Floral. This is what I use as a base. This matte shadow also has a lot more kick up in the pan than the other mattes. Next I went in with Penny Pincher. Of course I did have to build up. It took some time. It wasn't a headache of a time, but the formula itself is a bit rougher, by the way, compared to the other mattes, and I did feel like I needed to give it a little bit more TLC in terms of blending and getting it the way I wanted it to move. But at the end of the day, it did work. You're just gonna have to build it up to the pigmentation that you want. Next I went into Wumbo, which is this gorgeous pink. This shadow is probably my favorite out of the entire palette. It is really pigmented. I took it on a small blending brush and I went ahead and I put it right above Penny Pincher, blended it out, and it was really easy to blend. Love this shadow so much. Following Wumbo, I went into Blue Lagoon. So earlier I did mention that the shimmers when swatched looked a little bit sheer. Blue Lagoon comes out way better when you wet the brush, which is exactly what I did. I went ahead and I showed you guys it dry, and then I went ahead and I wet my brush and it showed up, and it looks so pretty when you wet it. It is like bam there. So it's really no big deal. Just wet your brush and it will show up. Next to Blue Lagoon, I went ahead and I put Bikini Bottom Blue, and again, very similar to Blue Lagoon, I had to wet the brush for it to show up. It's a very nice blue. I wouldn't say it's as pigmented as Blue Lagoon, but it does look really pretty, so I was really happy. Lastly, for my lid, I went into Angry Tentacles. Now I tried this with a dry and a wet brush, but I didn't like the pigmentation that came out of it, so I went with a finger and it came out way better. It was definitely there. So when it comes to the shimmers of this palette, I honestly feel like you're going to have to just see which application works best for you. A wet one might look great, a dry one might look great, or your finger might be the best option. So it's really kind of like a guess and check. There's not much of a consistency throughout the shimmers. For my inner corner highlight, I put Golden Pineapple. I took it with a dry brush and it showed up really easily. For my lower lash line, I went into Advanced Darkness. I dragged it from the back into about maybe 2/3 of my lids. I only left a little bit of portion open because I wanted to go in with Meow, meow. Meow. I took this purple with a dry brush and I put it right in there and it just tied in the look. After that, I went ahead and I put on my favorite liner from Glamlite and of course some cheeseburger lashes. You guys know how I feel about Glamlite, so I don't want to sound too redundant. Then I went ahead and I put on Feelin' Pineapple. I put it right on top of my lipstick. I'm wearing the MAC Selena lipstick in Amor Prohibido. I can see the gold in it, which is very nice. A big thumbs up for those glosses. Lastly, I went back into this palette for Tree Dome, which is this beautiful kind of highlight color. I used it for my cheekbone, nose, everything on my face that is a highlight, including the brow bone. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below on both of these items. Let me know if you're going to grab it. Again, you can use my discount code if you want to. It is Chrismo. That'll save you 10% off. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Of course, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully, it'll be soon. My life has been so crazy lately, but I'm excited and I'll be sharing that with you guys soon. So I hope you guys have a great weekend and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
SpongeBob SquarePants!